Hello to everyone.
The world of international diplomacy found itself on shaky ground. A significant tremor rippled through the established order when a private phone call between then-President Trump and President Zelensky was leaked to the press, revealing potentially explosive details. The leaked conversation suggested the U.S. might be open to supporting Ukrainian strikes on targets within Russian cities, a proposition that immediately raised eyebrows and concerns. This idea represented a dramatic and potentially dangerous shift from the previously agreed-upon defensive strategies, signaling a possible escalation of the conflict. The revelation sparked immediate global speculation, fueling anxiety among world leaders and citizens alike, as the implications of such a move became clear. For Ukraine, the tantalizing prospect of striking back at Russian soil presented both an opportunity and a considerable risk, a delicate balance between strategic advantage and potential retaliation. Meanwhile, world leaders watched with bated breath, fearing the possibility of a wider, more devastating war engulfing the region and beyond. However, just days later, President Trump publicly reversed course on the matter, offering a stark contrast to the leaked conversation. In a subsequent press conference, he stated unequivocally that he did not support attacks on Moscow, emphasizing the importance of peace, stability, and de-escalation. This rapid and unexpected shift left political analysts and policy experts scrambling to understand the reasoning behind the initial suggestion, debating whether it was a genuine policy consideration, or perhaps a calculated bluff designed to unsettle Moscow and test the waters of international response. Regardless of the true intention, the episode highlighted the Trump administration's apparent willingness to consider even the most unconventional and bold policy options, all the while remaining acutely sensitive to the potential global impact and far-reaching international consequences of their decisions. The stark contrast between the private discussions of potential escalation and the subsequent public statements of restraint marked what many considered a pivotal moment, a potential turning point in U.S. foreign policy and its approach to international relations. The White House quickly moved to clarify the situation, recognizing the potential for international misinterpretation. Officials stated that Trump's private comments, made during a closed-door discussion, were exploratory in nature. They emphasized that these comments did not represent an official endorsement of escalation. Officials framed the discussion as part of a broader peace-through-strength strategy, a concept often invoked to justify a strong military presence. The aim was to apply pressure on Russia through strategic posturing, but without engaging in reckless provocation that could lead to unintended consequences. The administration also took steps to reassure its allies, who were understandably concerned about the implications of the leaked conversation. They reiterated that U.S. support for Ukraine would remain strictly defensive, focused on providing the resources necessary for self-defense. This support would be provided with strict rules of engagement, designed to prevent any unintended escalation of the conflict. Moscow, however, wasted no time in seizing on the leaked call, viewing it as an opportunity to advance its own narrative. The Kremlin issued a strong condemnation, characterizing the comments as evidence of American aggression and a threat to regional stability. The Russian government also used the incident to rally domestic support, portraying the U.S. as an unreliable and hostile actor on the world stage. Behind the scenes, however, Russian leaders faced a new level of uncertainty, grappling with the potential implications of the leak. They were forced to carefully consider the possibility of future U.S.-backed escalation and how to best prepare for such a scenario. The incident forced the Kremlin to reassess its defenses and overall military strategy, taking into account the evolving geopolitical landscape. There was a growing awareness that the conflict's rules could change overnight, requiring a more agile and adaptable approach to defense planning. The psychological impact on Moscow was profound, creating a sense of unease and uncertainty within the leadership. Unpredictability had become a new and potent weapon in the diplomatic arsenal, adding a layer of complexity to international relations. Trump soon announced a major new military aid package for Ukraine, including advanced long-range missiles, air defenses, and drones. This upgrade signaled a clear U.S. commitment to strengthening Ukraine's hand, potentially shifting the battlefield balance. Alongside the aid, Trump issued a stark ultimatum: Russia must begin withdrawing from Ukraine within weeks or face severe consequences. The ultimatum extended globally. Any nation trading with Russia after the deadline would face steep US tariffs. This move forced countries worldwide to choose between Russian business and access to the American market. The economic threat aimed to isolate Russia and cut off its financial lifelines, raising the cost of war dramatically. The stakes and the pressure on Moscow had never been higher. For Ukraine, the new aid brought hope and a sense of turning the tide, but also logistical and training challenges. Integrating advanced weapons required rapid adaptation, as Ukrainian commanders raced to deploy them before Russia could respond. Meanwhile, Russia faced mounting economic strain. Trump's ultimatum threatened to sever crucial trade ties and further destabilize the ruble. Neutral countries reconsidered their positions, fearing US tariffs more than losing Russian markets. The economic squeeze deepened divisions within Russia's elite, pitting hardliners against pragmatists worried about collapse. Moscow now faced the reality that its economic resilience was nearing its limit. The combined military and economic pressure forced Russia to rethink its strategy and options. The infusion of US aid, coupled with the firm ultimatum, has fundamentally altered the war's dynamics. This injection of resources and resolve presents a new chapter in this long and arduous conflict. The international community is now laser-focused, with the world watching Ukraine's next moves with bated breath. Every decision, every strategic maneuver, is under intense global scrutiny. Russia now stands at a critical juncture, forced to decide whether to escalate the conflict further or begin a strategic retreat, reassessing its objectives. Global alliances are being rigorously tested, as nations are compelled to pick sides, often under considerable diplomatic pressure from the United States. The strength and unity of these alliances are now paramount. Major global powers, including China and India, find themselves under increasing scrutiny, their every action and statement carefully analyzed by the international community. Their choices in this conflict have the potential to reshape established global trade routes and diplomatic norms, ushering in a new era of international commerce. The unpredictable nature of Trump's involvement, characterized by a mix of private threats, public denials, and concrete actions, has injected a significant degree of new uncertainty and volatility into the already complex conflict. Bolstered by recent support, Ukraine now has a tangible opportunity to shift the dynamics of the battlefield in its favor. Simultaneously, Russia is grappling with unprecedented levels of economic isolation, placing immense strain on its internal stability. The world holds its breath. Will Russia yield to the mounting pressure, or will the conflict escalate to even more dangerous levels? The path towards a peaceful resolution remains shrouded in uncertainty, but the stakes involved and the potential for profound and lasting change on the